Let's go, guys. Happy New Year. Okay, we're here. I got a little bit of green on me. Okay, it's beautiful. This is a beautiful day, right? We're moving on to bigger and better things going ahead to this next decade, right? New regime, new ownership, new GM, new head coach, new team, new franchise, right? But got to take a look back. It's the end of a great decade. Not great football, but we did have some great players, all right? We did have some great ones, and I want to celebrate them here. I'm glad you guys are hanging out. Bruce Smith, unfortunately, did not make the all-decade team, Kevin. But let's get into it. I'm just going to dive right into this thing, all right? Let's get it going here. Get it going. First, I want to talk about honorable mentions. Okay, we got Ryan Fitz. He couldn't crack the top 10 because he's Ryan Fitzpatrick. He throws a bunch of touchdowns, but also throws a million interceptions, right? Right? We know this. We got Bobby Woods. Hated to see him go. Went on and flourished with the Rams. Really showed how good of a wide receiver he was. Didn't really have the quarterback to throw to him. Lorenzo, obviously sad, seeing him have his last year here. Darius, Jarius Byrd, my guy George Wilson. I love George Wilson. I was a huge fan of him. He was just kind of that blue-collar guy. Got the shit done. Got the plays done. And, Kiko, I know you love to hate him. He's kind of like a dirty guy. But when he was on the Bills, the legend of Kiko Alonso, it was a real thing, man. And Aaron Williams, of course. Loved Aaron Williams. I loved Aaron Williams, the guy, a little bit more than the player. He got burned quite a bit. We'll talk about that going on here in this list. But loved Aaron Williams. These guys are the honorable mention. I wanted to drop them because they are some of my favorite players, but skill-wise, they just barely weren't able to make the top 10. So let's get it. Guys, we're talking all decade. 2010 on. Brian Moorman, I think he might have been on the team 2010, but after that, he didn't really have much going on. So we're talking 2010 on. It was really fun going through these rosters. One note was, since 2010, our offense has been a mess. A lot of these players are defensive, and we've had a lot of good defenses in this past decade. But in regards to our offense, it has been struggling. Not a lot of primetime players, not a lot of big guys. Hopefully over the next couple of years, we could change that, kind of balance it out, have some playmakers, have some dynamic guys on offense. All right, let's get into it. Number 10. I know, guys. I know. There's a couple in here that sting me a little bit. They sting. Mario Williams is one of them. I had to put him in here, okay? He was a beast before he came to Buffalo, and he was that guy. He got that $100 million deal, right? And Bills fans were lit when Mario Williams got that sign, boy. I remember I was pumped up. I remember getting the news. Holy shit, Mario Williams is coming to Buffalo. I started freaking out, and not only that, but he played well. Yeah, the teams weren't that great when he was here, but he had a few really, really good seasons. And the 4 years that he was here, he started every game except one. He missed one game in the last season he was here. He was averaging like 11 sacks per season with us. He had a really good career with the Bills. Got to crack him in here in the top 10. I had a little video here, and I totally forgot to pull it up. You know what the problem is with these videos, when you pull these videos up, I'm finding out yesterday, YouTube will kick me off. But like I said, Mario was absolute beast. And when he was here, that D-line, we had Kyle, Mario, Jerry Hughes was here towards the later end of that. Darius, our D-line was pretty nasty. And Mario Williams was a big reason why. When he was here, the defense in general was good. So had to crack Mario in here. He was beastly, made a lot of big plays. Got to move on, though. Moving on. Number 9 here. We're going to fly through these here, guys. I'll cut to your comments here a few times, but we're going to fly through these. Number 9, my guy, Shady. Some of you guys might be surprised. He's a little, he's a little high on the list. Some people might think he should be a little bit lower, but nonetheless, our guy, another big one. When Shady came to Buffalo, it was a huge deal. I mean, people started freaking out. Yeah, it was a trade for Kiko Alonso, which sucked because I love Kiko Alonso personally. But, man, when Shady got that ball, boy, he turned into something dynamic, boy. The last year he was here, the cuts got a little bit slower, his speed got a little bit slower, and whatnot. But he put up some good numbers, man. He averaged over 1,000 yards per season when he was with us. That last year he only put up 500. Everybody knows he kind of dipped off a little bit, but averaging over 1,000 yards over a 3-4 year span is a big deal. And when you watch these highlights, boy, you kind of get taken back to that Shady McCoy getting nasty days. I mean, look at these cuts here. Watch how he makes guys miss. Everybody's comparing him to Devin Singletary, saying Devin Singletary can make guys miss like this. Singletary does not have quite the cutting ability that Shady does. I mean, look at this dude. And he was fast. He lost that speed. He was fast, boy. Whoop! I mean, come on. Come on. Shady was our guy. 13 touchdowns in 2016. He was a fantasy guru. He was one of the best running backs in the NFL over the last decade. So he had to go up here. He had to be up there. Now look at that. Come on. All right, moving on. We're moving on. We're dropping it right down. Going to number 8. Sneaking him in. Yeah, we're doing past and current players. Micah Hyde. He's been an absolute game changer for this defense. I mean, think about it. We got him from Green Bay on a steal. Green Bay didn't even want to give him a contract. They didn't even want him. They didn't offer him anything. And we hit him. And if you look at his numbers from when he was in Green Bay, you look at his numbers. He was just steadily climbing. And then bang, Sean McDermott brings him in. Because Sean McDermott's a secondary specialist. He was a safety his whole football career. And he knows his secondary, right? Brings Micah Hyde in, hits his prime, and absolutely shuts down this defense. No teams hit us over the top anymore, right? None. Him and Jordan Poyer are a major reason why. Jordan Poyer, I wanted to sneak him in here, couldn't find a spot. I think Micah Hyde is a little bit more important to the defense, but they're pretty hand in hand there. But Micah Hyde, huge. Number 8. Moving on. Let's go to number 7 here. Number 7. I'm pumped about this one. Come on. Stevie Johnson. Stevie J. One of my favorite Bills. Okay, and I like him even more because I've met him since he has left football, since he's retired from football. Not only have I met him, but I got to interview him a couple years back. Awesome dude to talk to. Really laid back, cool dude. And my son, I took him to a football camp, and Stevie Johnson was one of the coaches. It was Freddie Jackson's football camp. Stevie Johnson was there. Aaron Williams was there. I actually have a video of Stevie tossing my son a corner. It was when my kid was 8. He just likes to play catch. He wants to be a wide receiver. And I got a video of Stevie Johnson tossing my son corner end zone touchdown. It's pretty cool. But Stevie Johnson, awesome dude, and absolute playmaker. That connection that he had with Ryan Fitzpatrick was unreal. And listen to this, okay? He was a 7th round pick. People forget that. 7th round pick, okay? And between 2010 and 2013, he averaged over 1,000 yards per season. Come on. That's flying under the radar, boy. John Brown just put up one of those type numbers here this year, and we are like freaking out, talking about how much we love John Brown, right? Stevie Johnson did that for 4 years. Really, really incredible stuff. And also in that time period, he was averaging 8 touchdowns per season. A couple years he had like 5 or 6, but not even that low. He had like 6 or 7, and a couple years he had 10 or 9. That's consistently great numbers on a bad Buffalo Bills team. I think 2011 they were okay, but for the most part, it was a bad team. Stevie Johnson absolutely killing it. Number 7 for the Buffalo Bills this past decade here. Number 7. Moving on here, guys. Number 6, our guy, Jerry Hughes. Mr. Consistency. It's what he's been. We got him in an absolute, we roasted Indianapolis in a trade. Absolutely roasted him. I mean, if you think about it, we traded Kelvin Shepherd. Kelvin Shepherd is who we traded for Jerry Hughes. And Hughes hasn't been, like, great. He hasn't been all-pro his entire career with the Bills. But what he has been is consistently above average. And we're talking for years and years and years now. A lot of these guys, you look at Shady. You look at, you look at Stevie Johnson. a lot of these older guys here, Freddie Jackson. No, not Freddie Jackson, but some of these guys, they're good for about 3 years. They last those 3 years, and then that fourth year, they kind of take a little dip off. Jerry Hughes is just every year consistently good. We love him. We love him. And the thing I love about Jerry Hughes, too, is that he's always stripping the ball. And he loves Tom Brady. Every time we're going up against Tom Brady, it seems that Jerry Hughes is either getting super close to a sack or he gets that sack, gets that strip fumble. He's had a couple huge strip fumbles against Brady. Unfortunately, not leading to a lot of wins. Yikes. Let's move it on here. Move it on here. I'm going to get to some of your guys' comments here after number 5. Number 5, I got no video here. I'm not going to pull up a video of Eric Wood blocking the shit out of people, but he was our stud. The big thing with Eric Wood is we didn't realize how good he was until after he was gone, right? Drafted from Louisville, and when he had to retire with his neck injury, it was kind of like, well, that kind of sucks, but we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. But that's not how it went. Eric Wood showed how good of a player he had been in Buffalo because our offensive line, once he was gone, was absolutely decimated. Completely fell apart. It shows why he was a captain and why he was with the Bills for so long and why Shady McCoy had such great seasons in Buffalo. Boy, Eric Wood could roll out and make some big blocks. He was really fun to watch play, and he really showed, like I said, as soon as he was gone, he showed why he was so important to this Bills team. And he's a leader guy. He's a leadership guy. Love him. Love the character. Love the way he played. Love the way he blocked. And Shady McCoy loves his ass, too. I can guarantee you that. Let's get to some of these comments here before we move on to our final 4. Let me see what we got. Shivas, what the fuck? You making videos back to back? Yeah, man. Yeah. We're a little behind here. Ronald, what's going on, man? The Angry Buffalo. Nothing like a playoff game to start the new year. Hopefully it's a win. Yeah. Okay. You think we bring Duke to the playoffs? Guys, come on. We're talking top 10, boys. We're talking top 10. Hyde over Aaron Williams? Man. Sixer BS. Yeah. No. Sorry, Bubba. Sorry. Aaron Williams gave up a lot of big plays. Get to some of these Facebook comments. Michael Sheffield, Kyle Williams better be on here. We'll see. Bobby Woods, what the fuck? Why so serious? I'm glad Stevie J made the list. Yeah, he was a stud. Eric French, can't stay long, but just wanted to chime in and say Happy New Year to Blindsided Sports. Let's go, my man, Eric. This is my go-to show for the Bills content. Love the passion and the enthusiasm you bring. Go Bills, baby. Let's go. Playoff bound. We got this. PS start Duke. Let's go. Dylan, Jerry Hughes grabs his lunchbox and goes to work every day. That's right. Blue-collar dude. Gets it done. Mr. Consistency. He's kind of like, he plays with that passion. Plays with that fire and whatnot. But, I don't know. I just, he gets some penalties and gets in trouble sometimes. But for them, I love what he does. Mr. Consistency, love him. Shivas, Bird over Hyde. No, I disagree. Bird didn't have that consistency. We're talking over a span here, right? And I couldn't put Bird in there because he left us hanging. He went for that money with New Orleans. Had to let him. I couldn't get Bird in the top 10. And Micah Hyde has been a complete game changer. Maybe Bird had some better stats, but he doesn't do what Micah Hyde does for this defense. That's my opinion. I hear what you're saying though. Number 4, Steph Gilmore. It's another one, guys. There's going to be some people that are pissed at me. I hate it. Stop naming medium players, Corey. What do you mean? I hope you're talking about these guys in the comments. This one hurts. We didn't even catch him in his prime. He really hit his prime once he went to New England and he was surrounded by better players. It hurts. It hurts, guys. This is going to sting a little bit, but I'm going to pull up his video here. Ian Gilmore in the Bills jersey. We drafted him well. It's one thing. I don't know why we didn't pay this man, right? I like to be optimistic and say, okay, well, if we would have paid him money, then we would have been a little more restricted on the salary cap. We wouldn't have been able to do the things that Brandon Beane and Tom McDermott wanted to do, But at the end of the day, can you imagine right now, Trey White? I know, Shivas. Gilmore sucks. Yeah, I know, guys. Can you imagine right now Trey White and Steph Gilmore on the squad? And really, guys, we have salary cap. Hurts. He was really good when he was on Buffalo, and he wasn't even hitting his stride yet. Um, so I had to put him up here. I'm sorry. But he's great. He's gonna go down as one of the best cornerbacks in the history of the NFL. I mean, maybe not top 5, but top 10, top 15. He's a Hall of Famer, guys. Steph Gilmore's a Hall of Famer that the Bills didn't pay. I'm sorry. Had to put him on there. God, don't be too mad at your boy. Okay, I'm just trying to be realistic here. Okay, but moving on to number 3. First and foremost, most importantly, better than Steph Gilmore, our guy, Trey White. Making you feel better? It made me feel a little bit better putting Trey White on here. Okay, get a little bit of a closer look here. This is a big one. Trey White, not only is he was drafted in 2017, right? 27th overall, traded back from the pick that the Chiefs got, Patrick Mahomes. Shh, we'll keep it quiet. Okay? It doesn't matter. Not only is he better this year than Stephon Gilmore in his prime, maybe Gilmore's best career year here. He's only 3 years in the league. Gilmore spent 4 years with Buffalo before he hit his stride, right? Tre'Davious is only going to get better. He's not one of these dudes that's just looking for a payday, kind of like, maybe some guys that are on the Bills right now, or like a Marcel Darius, guys that have been on the Bills in the past. But, he takes pride in his work. And when you see other Bills players talking about Trey White, it's always he's constantly working. You see Leslie Frazier talk about him. He's constantly honing in. He wants to be the best cornerback in the NFL, and it's shown. And the Bills are going to, I believe, I don't know if it's going to be this offseason because they can pick up his 5th-year option, but they're going to be paying this guy a shit ton of money. He's going to set the market for cornerbacks. Gilmore got burned a lot in his first 2 years, says Joshua. Yes, he did, and that was another thing. It could also be blamed a little bit on Aaron Williams. Aaron Williams was kind of aggressive. He liked to play a little bit closer to the box than playing deep back. But, it seemed like every time Gilmore, there was a big play on the Bills during that time period, it was like, it was always Gilmore, 27. What are you doing back there, Gilmore? So that was a big thing. And that's another reason why I have Micah Hyde so high. You don't see that shit anymore. You don't see the Bills getting burned over the top anymore. It just doesn't happen. Between him and Poyer and what they've been able to do, mixed with Trey White, the secondary that the Bills have, I think it's comparable all day to the Legion of Boom with the Seahawks. It might even be better. We'll see. But moving on. Number 3, Trey White, our guy. Love that. I would love to hear somebody tell me why he's not. All right, moving on. Here we got number 2. Freddie Jackson. Come on. This is my favorite part about doing all the work, which, hey, putting in that work here, boys. My favorite part about this was watching the Freddie Jackson highlight clips. Come on. This is our guy right here. Watching these clips was like, it took me down memory lane. Trent Edwards hitting him. Oh, man, on a slant. He was just an absolute beast. Here's something I did not know about Freddie J. I know he went to college and everything, and that was an awesome story. And he was a lifer with the Bills. He was with us from, what was it? It was 2007 to 2014. Finished up with Seattle, but he was with us pretty much his entire career. Marv Levy is the reason that Freddie was invited to training camp, right? Marv Levy went to college himself, saw Freddie. Everybody said he was too small. He tried indoor football, I believe Canadian football, and Marv Levy brought him in. And I look at what happened. He turned into a legend in the Bills community, and he had 8 years of solid ass football. Look at these highlights. But not only was he did he pack that powerful punch, he can bulldoze guys over, but he was fast as shit, man. He was fast as hell. But when Freddie hit open field, it was a beautiful thing to watch. I miss watching him play, to be honest with you. I miss watching him play. He was one of the greats. And he always had a pretty good offensive line, too. Look at those big boys. Man. Get off me. I love that. Coming in at number 2, Freddie J. Buffalo legend, right? Moving on, guys. Number one. You know what? Actually, before we go to number one, let's take a look at the chat here. See what you guys got. Only reason we draft White was because Gilmore was gone. Yeah, that's a great point, Shivas. That's a great point. White is better than Gilmore. I agree. Murillo, Gilmore got burned a lot. Yes, he did. Shivas, Gilmore does not know how to play zone. Yeah, and that's a big part of what we do. That's a big part of what the Bills do. David Reed, Incredible Hulk, nickname. I can't say I've ever heard that before. I absolutely love it. You know, he played in the Tech Bowl. Bro, he had skills to pay the bills. Let's go. 0 QBs hurt. Yeah. Freddie was nasty blocking in the backfield too. Dylan, it's been a hard decade. Yeah, man. I mean, Stevie J, Freddie. Not a lot of power here. Not a lot of offensive power here. It was kind of an embarrassing decade for the Bills. It was an embarrassing 20 years. We know that. Ralph Wilson, the last 20, 30 years of his ownership of this team, we'll say 20, the last 20 years, you know, I think he had guys in control that did not know what the hell was going on. They were looking solely at financial things. There was a whole story, a whole investigation on those guys that were running the Bills organization once Ralph Wilson kind of handed it down. It was a shit show. Once Terry and Kim Pagula came in, everything's changed now. And it looks like we're trending way, way up. But I'm really hoping that this next decade we get some more offensive weapons. The defense can stay as consistent as we have been, and we become a contender. And it's starting to look that way. Corey, Fred Jackson is one of my favorites all time. Low-key NFL beast, absolutely. Chris, man, I missed the Freddie Jackson show. It was great. Oh. Thankfully, you got blindsided, my man. Cool, let's turn the team around. Yes, he has you. All right, let's get to it. Number one, numero uno, our guy. I think most of you know this. Absolute Buffalo Bills legend. Come on. Who else would it be? Out here to the Kyle Williams up trade. Let's go. 5th round pick, nonetheless. He went to LSU, right? Big time school. Not a big prospect. Got him in the 5th round. Just like I can't remember who it was. I think it was Dylan. Brought his lunchbox to the work every single day, grinding it out. Smaller guy, smaller DT, use his size, use his speed, use his leverage to make big plays consistent. It was just beautiful to watch him play. And not only was he a great player, but he was a great leader in the locker room, a great guy in the community, kind of like a Lorenzo Alexander. And a big reason why Sean McDermott was able to establish this culture that really is the foundation, I think from an outside looking in, why they were able to establish this culture that is the reason they're winning, is the reason they're turning things around. D'Antoni, Ralph was a bum, full stop. Yeah, that sucks. That's harsh, my man. That's harsh. D'Antoni, hey, D'Antonian, where you been, my man? I miss you. Scott Blakely says Kyle deserved number one. Agree. Yeah. Was Fitzmagic the closest quarterback to making the list? Oh, boy. Good question. Yeah, probably. It wasn't going to be Tyrod, because Tyrod, as good as he was, like average, Fitz at least showed sparks. He at least showed some huge plays. He went on some great runs. That's a great question. I would say Fitzmagic was definitely the closest. I like Tyrod. I was always not a huge fan of Tyrod, but I appreciated what he did. He played his role. But yeah, Fitzpatrick, at 1 year when we started the season, I think we started 5-2. I went to every home game. We beat the Raiders with that last second play. We beat the Eagles. We beat the Patriots on the with the Ryan Lindell kick last second there. So yeah, Fitzpatrick was my guy, but not as much as Kyle Williams. Absolute stud. Loved every bit about him. Community guy, leader guy, absolute great player. Number one. Happy New Year, you sons of bitches. Blindsided Squad, I love you motherfuckers, okay? We're going to be more consistent. We got Houston this week, Saturday, baby. Let's go. Give this thing a thumbs up on YouTube if you haven't already. Make sure you share it on Facebook if you haven't. I appreciate you guys coming to hang out. I love you. Let's go. Happy New Year. Let's go, Bills. Blindsided Squad. We out.